Hello, hello everyone. Today we will do capital asset pricing model, that is CAPM, and for the material you can visit the blog also. There you will see. I will post this link in the description box so you can take from there. So capital asset pricing model, that is CAPM, is nothing but it is a model to determine the expected return of a security. Like you are investing in a share or some other security, that time you need to determine how much you can expect from that security, what how much you should pay, and according to the expected rate of return only we pay. So this model help in determining how much you should be expecting from that security. And this was given by the economist William Sharpe in his book 1970 book, that is Portfolio Theory and Capital Markets. And this model starts with the idea that individual investment contains two type of risk. Like how this model starts is that there are two types of risk in a security. The basic idea of this model is this, that there are two types of the risk. What are those two types? One is the systematic risk. These are market risks that cannot be diversified away, like interest rates, recessions, and wars. These are the systematic risks. Systematic risk means which are inbuilt in the system. You cannot take them away. Like interest rate, whatever rate is there in the market, you need to accept it. You cannot change the interest rate in the market. Similarly, recession, can you alone fight with the recession? No, then you have to accept it and you have to live with it. That is systematic risk. Then your wars are also your systematic risk. So this, like this time you can say COVID-19 is going on, then Omicron and all. These are the systematic risk. You cannot diversify them. Diversify them means even if you are holding 10 securities, 10 types of shares, then also you have the same risk because that is in the system. So you cannot diversify it and you cannot control it. That is called the systematic risk. And the other type of risk is unsystematic risk, and it is also known as specific risk. This risk relates to individual stocks, like related to that particular stock. That is your systematic, unsystematic, or specific risk. Like if you are taking a share of ABC company, then whatever is the risk related to that company, that becomes the unsystematic risk. Or specific risk, why it is specific? Because it is related to that company, so we call it specific risk or unsystematic risk. And in more technical terms, it represents the component of a stock's return that is not correlated with general market moves. In whatever direction the market is moving, your stock is not going to move according to that, uh, because it has got some unsystematic risk, that is the specific risk related to that particular company or that particular organization. So that is called unsystematic risk. So according to William Sharpe, in the CPM model, there are two types of risk he has considered, that is the systematic risk and unsystematic risk. So now what is the logic behind CAPM? Like why CAPM was built and why CAPM was given as a model? So that is, no matter how much you diversify your investments, some level of risk will always exist. What is that risk? That is systematic risk. We saw in the last two slides that there is a systematic and unsystematic risk. So even if you diversify, like you can see, again I'm going to the systematic risk, there you can see in the, it cannot be diversified away. That means even if you are holding n number of securities in your portfolio, still you are going to face that risk. That is called systematic risk. So it is saying that no matter how much you diversify your investments, some level of risk will always exist. So investors naturally seek a rate of return that compensates for that risk. So investors have to seek at least return to compensate that risk, which is your systematic risk. The CAPM helps to calculate investment risk and what return on investment an investor should expect. Like what is the investment risk and how much return as investor should expect from that security or from that investment. To calculate the return according to CAPM, ERI is the expected return. That is, ERI is the expected return, which is equals to RF plus beta of that company, and market risk premium, that is the market return minus the risk free return or risk free rate of return. So you are getting the market risk premium and multiplying it with the beta of that company, and then adding risk free return into it, then you will be getting your expected rate of return on that investment. So what are the benefits of CAPM? It includes the following: ease of use and understanding. Like, it is easy to understand and it is easy to use. You can get all the data, like you can get easily RF, then beta also you can calculate. There are different methods which I have shown in the other video, you can check, and market return also you can calculate. Then it accounts for systematic risk, and that is very important because it really considers both the risk, that is systematic and unsystematic risk. Then what are the limitations of it? It is too simple because it does not cover all of the risks that are involved in the investment. It does not correctly evaluate reasonable returns. Similarly, assumes that you can lend and borrow at a risk-free rate, which is not possible in the real life. And returns that are calculated evaluate past returns and might not accurately reflect future returns. So like, these are based on the past data, so which they may not reflect the future returns of that investment for which you are going to take the investment decision. So that is all about the CAPM. And for the practical example of CAPM in the Excel, how to get the data and how to calculate the expected return using the CAPM formula, this formula, for that you can watch the other video, that is CAPM in Excel. And for any doubts you can post the comment in the comment box. That's all for today. Thank you so much.